Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the cottagecore Let's Play survival series. In the last episode, we built up this amazing storage area. So far, I really love it in here. And wait. Please go away. Anyways, it looks amazing. Thank you all so much for the positive feedback. And now we have to decide what we're going to do today. I think we're going to focus on making an automatic honeycomb farm today because I don't have enough blocks to build with. Also, I updated the map again and look how good it's looking. This was before in episode 3 and this is up here now and it looks so amazing. It's looking so cool. I want to expand into the flower forest a little bit more and I think this area is going to be the perfect spot to build something for our bees. Maybe a greenhouse. But I'll be right back. I'm gonna take away all of these trees and then we'll continue working. All right, trees are gone. Now it's time to get some grass and let's get 5 stacks. That should be enough. We're just gonna smooth out some of that unevenness. And when I'm smoothing things, I just like to put kind of an outline of maybe where I want my blocks to go and then slowly fill in over time. I never really plan how I'm going to smooth until I'm actually doing it, so this step is really important just to make sure that I don't overdo it and then have to tear it all back up. Once the majority is filled in, then you can focus on the small details on the sides, like fixing up this to make this look a tiny bit better. At least we hope so. Now I'm trying to plot out potentially a path to where our pathway is going to connect to the greenhouse. Maybe... yeah, I think something like this and then having the greenhouse set back there will probably look really good. There is only one small problem. We have no bees. Before I updated my world, there was a small bug where bees would die once they would go into their hive and never come out again. I'm going to search the rest of the flower forest hoping to find some bees. There are none in here. This is an old hive that we took down. We'll just take the tree too. Okay, that one has potential and it has honey. Maybe there are bees over here. I see one. Bees, I hear another one. Hello. Hello, angels. Oh my gosh, another bee. How many bees are there? All right, darlings, come with me. We're going over to our home and we're going to put you in a greenhouse. It's going to be great. Trust me. All right, follow the flower. Little tulip for you. Just a tiny bit further right around all these trees. And temporarily, I'm just gonna leave you guys here so I can go find some more bee friends if possible. I want to grab that hive from earlier. And there's another bee, okay. And the hive is right behind it. So I will grab this guy when we come back. Let's grab the hive. Total bee location. Wait, isn't that the advancement for having a full beehive? Doesn't that mean it has 3? Well, we're back at the base and we got a couple of extra hives. We have 3 extra ones now. And that's pretty incredible. I'm going to put these over here by the other bees. And we're just going to leave them for later on when we make the farm. I think that sounds pretty good. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. Look at them just fluttering there. Oh my gosh, bees. Since we're going to be building a greenhouse, I went and got a bunch of sand and I'm going to smelt all of this up now and try to get the rest of the things while it's smelting that we're going to need for the build. I think I'll have enough oak for the next 5 builds, but I definitely need more spruce. No one mentioned that I just got rid of this little tree farm that I had over here and I replanted the spruce tree because the podhole's already there. Okay, no one mentioned that. Even though we have feather falling, we're still going to safely chop this tree. I learned this tree chopping method actually from YouTube originally, and it is so nice to get these big 2x2 trees and get down safely, especially in hardcore. And then to go down, just hold shift and swing your mouse around while you chop. It works better with a beacon and a netherite axe. Ooh, netherite could be something we do soon. We could upgrade our tools. Next on our list, we are just going to bone meal this glowberry to get a bunch of glowberries to use in the greenhouse. We're going to add some color and some light. Time to make some white dye. After I tested a couple of different glasses in creative, I think that white is going to be the one that gives us the best vibe and the best look for the greenhouse. And another spruce tree grew, so it's time for some more chopping. We're going to be mainly using glass, oak, and spruce for this build, but a lot of spruce accents. And here is the entire process of cutting the tree by using this method that I learned on YouTube, and it is incredible and so fast and so easy. I love it. All right, it's finally time to start building, and the only difference today is that I won't be doing a time lapse. My first goal here with any build is to lay out a basic frame and shape for the build. I'm using spruce and oak logs, and later on I'll be stripping the spruce logs to make them look like the worn oak logs. When you're creating a frame, I think it's super important to make sure you give yourself enough room in the build, so here I'm just adding a little bit of extra space for the bee farm. I'm going to make this build rectangular because I don't want to do a square greenhouse, so I'm going to do 2 sections instead of 3 on this side. After that, I'm going to strip all of this spruce in here to give it a worn look so it looks like really old oak. This step does look a little bit better with no texture pack on though. Then it's time to fill in the back and the side and finish stripping up all of these logs. And then at the end, you have a nice sized greenhouse that will hopefully fit our bee farm. Then out front, I added a little entryway area, and I wanted it to be the same size wide as the middle portion. And then again, stripped all of the spruce. Instead of doing a wood trim on the bottom, I did spruce planks, stairs, and moss blocks because the floor is going to be made out of moss. And then it was time to fill in the walls of the greenhouse with a full block in the middle and 2 panes on the side. And in this middle 2x3 sections, I also just did glass panes. The full block adds just a little bit of depth. Whenever I think about Minecraft greenhouses, I always think of really tall builds, so I think an A-frame roof is going to fit the vibe that we're going for pretty perfectly here. At the top, to give it a little bit more structure, I'm going to add a wood beam going all the way across, and that'll meet up with their other side later. And here's just a moment that I had after we added the other side of the roof, and it's looking pretty good. Then it was time to add the overhang to the front side, and I wanted this to have a similar shape to the rest of the A-frame, but just a tiny bit different with some slabs and some full blocks. Then it was time to connect the roof overhang to the front entrance for the building and try to mesh that together. And next on the list, we had starting to fill in the entire roof with our glass. After filling in a little bit, I realized that I wanted to add a kind of stripe going up the side so that way it would look like a little bit more structured. And I connected that to the very top using some stairs and trapdoors. And then once again, it was time to fill in the rest of the roof. And yes, this is a lot of glass. On both sides of the greenhouse, I added flower boxes hanging that I was going to fill in with flowers later. And then on the back of the greenhouse, to attach the 2 roofs, I tried to mirror a pattern that we would have on the front, and it came out looking pretty cool. The pattern is Chef's Kiss. You don't have anything good. You need to leave. Out there. You. Go. Out there. Thank you. Thank you. Take your llamas too. No. You cannot come back in here. No. You cannot be in here. No. Go. Well, and I'm not proud of what came next, but then I had to take matters into my own hands because the wandering trader wouldn't leave. I'm sorry, llamas. To cheer myself up after that horrible, uncomfortable encounter with the wandering trader, I started spamming oak leaves all over the greenhouse to add some visual interest and greenery. And then it was time to start mossifying the floor of the greenhouse, and I wanted to do this to make it just a really lush, pretty area. I love the color of moss in Mizunos. When it was all said and done, then I added some mossy cobblestone and some mossy cobblestone stairs to the floor just to break up all of that green and add a little bit of what looked like stones to the floor. In the middle, a spore blossom, and then lots of leaves in both oak and birch all around. The pink of the blossom leaves for the birch leaves adds so much to this area. It's so pretty. You can quickly hang up some lights here in the greenhouse. And I also want to add some hanging plants with flower pots and chains and flowers as well. I like the idea of doing this to kind of emulate the hanging flower baskets and hanging lanterns as well. Then it's time to go in with some glowberries and add a few vines here and there. And then I made a table out of some scaffolding. And I hung up some shelving using some spruce trapdoors all around for some extra storage and decorations. Going all over and adding some flower pots and some leaves definitely made this feel even more like a greenhouse already than it did. And then after that, I added some lanterns, some chests, some barrels, and all that kind of stuff all over to give this a little bit more of a lived-in look. I added some flowers inside, and then it was time to work on the pathway out front, so I quickly dug out a path and connected it, not in the original place that we thought we would add it, but to the actual door of the greenhouse. Okay, and now our greenhouse is put together and it's time to build the bee farm. Before we build the bee farm though, let's just quickly appreciate how gorgeous and lush this looks. It is amazing. I absolutely love it in here. Wow. I feel pretty lucky that we have this farm so we can easily grab these bows to use for dispensers. And then we're going to craft up those dispensers here. We need 6 of them. We're also going to need 6 observers. And I'm following a tutorial that I'm going to link in the description on how to make a very basic bee farm. Before this, I didn't even really know it was possible to put flowers on hoed land, but I guess we learn something new every day. These dispensers are going to face the beehives to give us the honeycomb, and then I'm thinking about digging underneath here to give us access to all the dispensers because they will be covered with redstone. Yeah, this will work. You can use any block on top of these, but I'm just going to do moss to stick with the theme, and oh, I'm ignoring that now. Then it's time to place down our bees' nests and our beehives with our observers on top of them facing down, and then redstone over the entire thing. Trying to get our friends from outside to come through this door has been a nightmare, and I'm just, please, bees, come in here. Thank you. All right. Flower, make babies, and I will take back all of those leads. Oh, whoops, not you. All right, cool. I dug out a small room in the dispenser area, which I'm going to make pretty later, and now I'm going to add dispensers so we can see if this machine is actually going to work. And I used the rest of my iron to get some more shears going, so we're definitely going to need an iron farm soon as well. All right, the bee farm is done and working. I added the glass, and now I'm going to work outside adding some different things to the area. Outside, I added some gardens, and then I saw this area over here, and I thought that would be perfect for a tree. And so I made this cute little tree, and I added a tree swing as well, and she just came out so adorable. She makes this entire area look so great. Okay, I think I just got the most lucky with this sword enchant, and we can combine this with our looting 3 sword. This is awesome. We just have to use the anvil to combine them. 16 now. 14? It's gonna cost 14 levels? I guess worth. And let's put mending on there too, now that it's actually a decent sword. Oh yeah, that is so awesome. And we still have one more enchant to go on here. So we'll probably get some sweeping edge 3 for it. I finished up the inside of the bee farm and the collection area, and I just want to show, look at how good our tree came out. I love this entire area so much. We can sit in the tree swing. Oh, I love this. Inside of the greenhouse, it is just so lush and gorgeous. I know we've already seen this already, but I am obsessed with how this came out. The underground storage area is all done, and it's a little bit of an awkward space, but I did the best that I could without making it look too weird. We have our extra shears down here, and I just love when I see the bees come out and they're interacting with the farm and they're just floating around. They look so happy. I am just so happy with this entire area. And actually, looking back at our honeycomb supply, we have quite a bit, so soon we'll be able to make some more honeycomb themed builds, which I am looking forward to. This greenhouse and the tree were so fun to build. I'm so happy with it. And before we go today, we have one last thing on our to-do list. We need to scratch a project off of our project board, and that right here is the automatic honeycomb farm. I am so happy. Next episode is episode 10, and I'd really love to actually choose a name for the flower forest if we can. Leave your suggestions in the comments. I already have a couple of suggestions from before, and I will see you all in the very next episode. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!